Viewers, are you ready to work 90 hours a week? Are you ready to work on Sundays? Do you think such long working hours, will they increase your productivity? Will they lead to burnout? Is this suggestion feasible? That's what we are going to discuss. That's what we are talking about, the suggestion, the proposal by the L&T chief. Now, what has he said, which has reignited the work hour debate, the work-life balance debate? He's basically said that one should have a 90-hour a week of work. That's the proposal which he has suggested in an interaction that's now going viral, as one would expect, on social media. When asked, and I quote the question and answer verbatim, why is L&T still making employees work on Saturdays? That was a question which he was put forth after being one of the biggest and largest conglomerate on face of India's business world. The L&T chairman basically said, and I'm quoting him again verbatim, I regret that I'm not able to make you work on Saturdays, to be honest. If I can make you work on Sundays, I will be happier because I work on Sundays as well. What do you do sitting at home? How long can you stare at your wife? How long can the wife stare at their husband? Listen in to believe this statement, first of all.
Why is L&T still making employees work on Saturdays even after being one of the largest conglomerates and the face of India's business world?
I regret I'm not able to make you work on Sundays, to be honest. If I can make you work on Sundays, I'll be more happier, because I work on Sundays also. What do you do sitting at home? How long can you stare at your wife? How long can the wife stare at your husband? Come on, get to the office and start working.
In fact, this comment, as one would expect, has drawn criticism online. In fact, that's led to a massive debate. There are some politicians, activists, celebrities and others who have questioned this statement. Actress Deepika Padukone, who's also, remember, a mental health advocate, she's reacted to this statement and she has said that she finds it shocking to see that people in such senior positions are making such statement. Let's listen in to what activists and others have to say about this.
His sexist statement that how long will you look at your wife or your wife look at you, that is where I have a problem, because these comments like these, they lower the dignity of women. India is a signatory to ILO, there are labor laws, so even if the L&T chairperson, Mr. Subrahmanyan, wants it, he cannot make it 7 days. So end of the day, burnout is an issue. Valid reason is burnout, depression, mental health. These issues also matter, and after all work and no play does make Jack a dull boy and Jill a dull girl.
All right, so that's a debate which is raging online. Viewers, we've also opened our call-in lines. What do you think of this proposal? What do you think of this suggestion? Do call in with your views. But meanwhile, telling you more about the outrage, the debate which this statement has ignited, the company, in the backdrop of all the outrage, the debate, issued a statement, and I'm quoting that statement as well, verbatim. We believe this is India's decade, a time demanding collective dedication and effort to drive progress and realize a shared vision of becoming a developed nation. The chairman's remarks reflect this larger ambition, says the company in this statement which had been issued by L&T. They also go on to say that at L&T, nation building is at the core of our mandate. All right, my colleague Deepak is joining us live on the broadcast. Deepak, if you have some people with you, could you ask them or give us a sense of what really does the common man, office goers have to say about this proposal by L&T chairman? Are they ready to work 90 hours a week? Do they think it's productive, or could it be counterproductive? What's their view?
Well, I'm near the Manyata Tech Park in Bengaluru, one of the larger tech parks in the city. Been speaking to multiple people through this morning, and many of them are of the opinion that work-life balance is important as well. Some of them say that even now, many of the companies do make them work, more than 10 hours a day. I have a couple of individuals here with me. Let me take it across straight to them. This is a statement that has come in from a chairman of a big company, L&T. Before, we've heard from Mr. Narayan Murthy as well. What do you think about 90 hours a week overall, and also making a statement like on Sundays, what will you do? Can you just keep staring at your wife or the wife staring at them?
Fine to talk in Hindi.
Yes, please go.
तो वाइफ वाली बात ठीक नहीं थी. That's not good. But apart from that, अगर आप देखें तो मेरी एज अभी कम है, तो जितना ज़्यादा मैं काम करूँगा उतना ज़्यादा एक्सपीरियंस मिलेगा मुझे. लगता है अगर if I work for 40 hours, I'll get half the experience of 80 hours guy, right? So 80 hours or 90 hours a week, I don't count it, but it's fine. Like, don't stick to the SLAs and all. It's like यू गेट कस्टमर सेटिस्फैक्शन ज़्यादा है मेरे लिए. और L&T भी वही है कि इसमें क्या बोलते हैं, आपका सपोर्ट मॉडल पे काम करता है, तो उनके लिए क्लाइंट ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो अगर हाँ,
when he was saying that you didn't have a very great expression on your face, so I believe that you don't agree with what he's saying.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I mean, 90 hours a day means almost for a week means like almost 13 hours per day, and it's just the work hours, and you are not counting the traveling that we have to do. Because in Bangalore mostly you will get, I mean, if you are staying away from your office, then it will take almost 1 hour or 2 hours for traveling only.
Yeah.
So if you are spending 15 hours a day only for your work and traveling, then it's difficult to do you have to balance. Yeah, it's your personal life, and you have to give time to your family, and also you have some personal, like you need some personal space to do your own thing, right? But I don't think like 90 hours is at all justified. But what you are saying also, it's fine with his perspective. It's okay. I mean, it depends on person to person. I don't feel like I need to work 13 hours a day to gain the experience. Or if I am getting less experience than the guy who is working 13 hours while I am working 9 hours or 10 hours. So, yeah.
Well, there you heard it. Different perspectives, of course, coming in, and through the morning, I've heard primarily people talk about these sort of aspects that
Exactly.
Effective working is different from working for long hours.
Effective working categorically different from working for long hours. That's the sentiment of the people from Karnataka. We also have a caller, Suresh, who's calling her from the national capital. Viewers, our call-in lines are open. Do call in with your views, Suresh. Go ahead. What do you think about the statements of the L&T chief? Do you think working 90 hours a day, working on Sunday as well, is going to increase productivity? Or do you think it's going to end up leading to burnout? What's your view?
I don't think there is any increase in productivity. That the person who has just informed us that the 90 hours is to be worked. But I think they have already spent their young age and now they are free to everything. Did they go to their home at right time? And what about their discussion about their families? It means they are taking time for office time for discussing all these things in the with their kids and family members. Did they ever said we will give you 100% hike? Ever? Did they discuss about the salaries in the open like this, 90-hour working? I don't think so. I have already worked for 12 hours in my organization, but nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. They will treat all Goda and Gada, all are in similar way. Thank you.
All right, thank you for calling with your views. Viewers, what do this 90 work hour mean? Because it's ignited, as I was telling you earlier, this work-life balance debate. My colleague Sagrika is joining us live from the newsroom. Sagrika, so if you and I end up working 90 hours, how much hours are we left, with to spend with our family? Maybe even for, just giving some rest to our bodies.
Yeah.
Can you take us through that calculation?
Okay, so let's take you through the calculation. Here's the proposal. Now it is... 1 week has 168 hours. Let's just go by the 90-hour logic. If a person is working for 7 days a week, I'm even stretching it, not even giving you a 5-hour example. If you're working for 7 days a week, for 90 hours as proposed, what does it leave us with? So if you do 168 minus 90 hours, what are you left with? You are left with 70 hours in a week. Now this is what you're left with for yourself. Now let's now take into account basics. How many hours on an average does a person sleep? Going by the minimum logic, possibly 6 hours. So you minus 42 hours from the 70 hours that you are left with. What are you left with? You are left with 36 hours for a week. In this 36 hours, let us also, like one of our viewers also said that, let's take travel time into account. They were talking about a situation like Bangalore where people at least one way take 1 hour to travel. So if I take 1 hour on an average, it becomes 2 hours over there. Another, you minus 14 hours from that, you're left with 22 hours in a week for yourself and your family. If you are left with 22 hours in a week for yourself and your family per day, it comes up to an average of 3 hours in a day. So in that you do your eating, you do your sleeping, you do your resting, you do your family time in those 3 hours a day. So if you're working 90 hours a week for all 7 days, Meenakshi, you will be left with 3 hours for ourselves, for our families, for our health and for everything else.
So 3 hours of personal time, viewers. That's it. That's all you're going to get in a, if you end up working 90 hours a week. Is that acceptable to you? Do you think that's enough? Enough time for your mental health, for your families? Or do you think that this proposal is not feasible? Do call in. Call lines open. My colleague Neha Ebale also joining us live on the broadcast. Neha, without much ado, over to you. Help us understand, what do the people on ground have to say about this proposal?
Well, you know, of course, pretty much cutting across age groups, the sentiment seems to be quite similar. 90 hours a week. Is that something that, you know, people should even be subject to? Are people not allowed to their personal time? Taking this quickly across now to, in fact, you know, Shyam Sundar and Meena, two people who are joining us from the IT capital today. Ma'am, I want to start by asking you, you know, there's a proposal over here now. The L&T Chairman has made a statement saying, you know, people should work on Sundays also. But what I want to ask you is the latter half of what he said. You know, he's made a remark there saying, how long can people really stare at their wives' faces at home? It's better that, you know, you just get on with work and get down to office. What do you have to say about this?
Yeah, good morning. What I want to say is I don't agree with it. As simple as that. Because what you remarked is, your remark says that how long will you stare at your wife? But that's not the only option. You don't need to do that because it's reciprocal. Even the wife won't want to do that. So coming to think of that, there are so many creativity, so many hobbies, so many ways you can help society during the holiday time. That is a Sunday. So it's not necessary that you have to just sit at home and, you know, look. So definitely you need that gap of one day, something called relaxation. So otherwise, human body itself does not function that way. So you're trying to change nature itself, which I won't agree with. Okay, one day is required as a holiday.
Okay. Sir, if I could just request you to step this side, please. I want to start by asking you, sir, 90 hours a week. He says Sundays should also be working. How are you seeing this?
It's absolutely ridiculous. Only because mind or body needs some rest. It's not exactly staring at your wife or staring at your wife's face. Something which a man thinks is to keep his mind engaged. Engagement can come in any form. If you're not busy at home, you have to be busy at office. It doesn't mean that you have to be 90 hours working for a week. It is just ridiculous. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work physically, it doesn't work mentally. You get mad. You literally go crazy about that. So that's my opinion.
Yeah. Productivity does not increase in working extra, only working extra. Okay. And what about the bonding which is there with your neighbors,
Absolutely,
friends, relatives, kith and kin? All that is totally stopped as it is in this Kali Yuga that is ridiculous.
Right, so the sentiment, Neha, if I could just sum it up, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Multiple callers calling in. Obviously, this has led to a big debate, which is raging online. Viewers calling in. Sudhanshu from Bengaluru with us. Sudhanshu, over to you. What do you have to say about this proposal?
Yeah, good morning. See, that we need to understand that men are not machines. Machines can be made to work, but then men need a little bit of rejuvenation, you know. See, work-life balance is a very, very important thing. In many foreign countries, now they have a 4-day working, the concept of 4-day working. Insurance companies don't pay and don't settle claims if a person is overworked. So the comment made by Mr. Subrahmanyan is in very bad taste, you know. I don't know what is in his family front. But then he cannot take everybody, the entire country for granted and make such very bad comment.
So some time needed for rejuvenation. That's your view. Thank you for calling us. Kaushalya from Chennai also on the phone line. Kaushalya, over to you. Kaushalya, if you could reduce the volume of your television and also go ahead. What do you think of this proposal? Feasible or not? Okay, we seem to have dropped that line, or there's some technical difficulty. But Colin from Bengaluru also joining us on the broadcast. Colin, what do you have to say about this proposal? You think it's feasible?
Ma'am, it is not. How can it be feasible, man? I don't know what Mr. Subrahmanyan is thinking about. I think he's in a mission of bringing up, making people zombies in future. All the children will become zombies. People will become zombies. But actually, you see, this shows that such an educated person, such a high-profile person, what kind of life he has led. He keeps making a sexist remark. Men keep staring at wives keep staring at. What we'll do? We're sitting at office staring at, women employees, and women employees will be staring at men employees. Is that what he wanted us to do? What is he thinking about? His work is only life. Other than that, the work, there is no other life. This is really very stupid remark is making.
All
and
right.
This kind of
So you
communist
think it's not feasible? Thank you for calling us. Harish from Bengaluru also with us. We're running out of time. Harish, quickly go ahead. What do you have to say about this proposal? Do you think it will increase productivity or will it lead to burnout?
Yeah, I think it will only create unemployment because what Subrahmanyan is planning is to reduce the number of employees because in L&T it is mainly into construction. They are working in shifts, and even in the IT side also they can BPO and all working in shifts. If one employee can work longer hours, they are basically killing the other employments only. And I don't know if Subrahmanyan got only wife at home or nobody else. But in the house means there will be parents, kids, and other things also, and other social activity also people can do in the people go out and help others in the
right,
especially in Bangalore. So these all things will be cut, and he's only it will create the unemployment because basically it is killing other man hours time.
Okay.
8 hours that's why it's meant for.
All right, Harish. Thank you for calling us. Nilesh, my colleague, also joining us live on the broadcast. Nilesh, we heard almost all the views from the ground, from all the callers calling in. Till now, no one in particular really seems to agree with this proposal. Most of the people feel that 90 hours work a week is a bit much. It's going to lead to burnout. It's not feasible. What do the people who are there with you have to say on this?
Well, you rightly pointed out that since the moment the comment has been made by Mr. Subrahmanyan, various reactions are pouring in from across the country. At the moment, I am present in Pune, and Pune is no different in opinion. An interesting picture I would like to show to my audience is that this individual, this particular gentleman in here, you can see is on break, but at the same time is also on duty. So he is busy with his laptop, with his cell phones, and trying to sip the cup of tea, the morning cup of tea. So this is the condition that currently employees are facing. We'll just try to speak and try to understand what is exactly his situation. We'll just try to understand. You must have gone through the statement which was given out by L&T Chairman. What is of your opinion? Because we see you are quite busy in your break as well.
So my opinion on this is quite unanimous. Like with all the employees, we always think the only same thing. We need our personal time. Weekends are the only time we have for ourselves and our family. So if you take that away from us, we'll just be working day in and day out, and that won't give us the pleasure. Like we are earning money to spend.
So nothing for us. So it is a weekend, but the week seems to be not ending. We also have certain other individuals, youngsters. दादा आपसे जान चाहेंगे, आप इस कमेंट को कैसे देखते हैं? Do you welcome it?
नाही मी ॲग्री नाही आहे या सगळ्या गोष्टीला. मला हे माणसाला एक सुट्टी पाहिजे कामावरून कधी भी हफ्त्यातून एकदा सुट्टी पाहिजे फॅमिलीसाठी. तर मी तर म्हणतो एक नाही 2 दिवस द्या सुट्टी. हे बरोबर नाहीये.
So this is a gentleman from Pune speaking
right.
about how it is
That's the sentiment coming in from Maharashtra. Nilesh, I'm interrupting you because we have Rucha also who's joining us live. She also has some people with her. Rucha, we're running out of time, but quickly take us through the views of the people there. What do they have to say about this proposal?
Joining me is the social activist from Dadar. Now, Mumbai is a financial capital where people are already working while they leave from home. While they reach home, they have to log in again. What do you have to say about the comment made by the chairperson of L&T?
So it's a very disgraceful that the chairman of a professional coming from a chairman of a professional company L&T. We work for family, so family comes first. Also, the 90 hours working doesn't guarantee you success. So, but it definitely guarantees you the exhaustion, mental tiredness. So this comment doesn't suit from the chairman of such a professional company.
Mental health is a concern here. Lots of celebrities, including Deepika Padukone, who's been vocal about mental health, has also raised a question on this.
Absolutely, you're right. So from celebs, like you rightly mentioned, like Deepika Padukone to many others have questioned this proposal, and the people on ground don't seem to agree with it. We'll keep an eye on this big debate through the course of the day. As of now, viewers, slipping into a short commercial break.